Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about movies, and we decided that this summer, instead of being all complicated about movie talk, we're just going to talk about the movies that we saw. And so today we're going to talk about Captain America Civil War, put out in 2016, still in the theaters as of today. Today is June the 4th.
It's number 3. It was number 1 for 2 weeks. It dropped to number 2, went to number 3, number 4, and it's back to number 3. It's made $381 million
Holy smokins.
as of last night.
How much do you think it cost to make it?
$250 million.
Oh, wow.
Only because I looked it up, and I would have that stuff in front of me, but the ducks are quacking, so I had to shut the ducks off and
Okay.
make sure you couldn't hear them.
Golly, that's pretty
It's
impressive.
still number 3. It's been out for a month.
Wow. Well, so just to let y'all know, we're not going to spoil anything until after we give you our popcorn rating. And,
I guess I just spoiled the box office take, but that's okay.
Well, we're not going to spoil the movie. But we're going to kind of give you our impressions. Do we think you should see it? Stuff like that. And then we'll start talking about the actual movie, because I have some serious questions, David, about this.
Uh-oh. I just shut my computer off. Okay.
No, you could turn it back on, because let's see. Can you turn it back on? No, don't turn it back on, because your computer sounds so freaking loud. It's horrible.
Yes.
So, don't you? Do any of your kids have iPads or anything, or little iPods or anything you could look up anything on?
I got my no, I don't have my phone because we're talking on my phone.
Yeah, we're talking on my phone, on your phone. Go get Bailey's compuper. Where's Bailey?
She's house sitting. She's got her computer with her.
Well, she should be paying more attention to the house.
not this house, another house. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. So anyway, I went to go see it with my wife last weekend on our 25th anniversary date.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I saw it, because I really didn't want to see it.
Really?
Well, I mean, I wasn't too thrilled. I mean, I got kind of tired of I didn't like the first Captain America at all, as you know.
Oh, I don't understand.
You brought it to our house to watch, and
you fell asleep like 3 times.
Yeah, and then I just went downstairs and didn't even finish it. And then the second one I enjoyed better. This is the third one, right?
Officially, it's the third Captain America.
Yeah. So
it feels like the third Avengers, but it's the third Captain America.
Yeah, really. So y'all, if you're looking for 2 guys that know every single thing about Marvel comic, Civil War, Captain America, you got one of them, but not 2 of them.
Well, I don't know everything, but I enjoy it very much.
Yeah. So, but it was Connie's choice. Connie loves Captain America. She loves the Avengers. She loves what's that show on TV that she loves so much?
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You don't deserve her. I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
I'm sorry. You couldn't have her because you didn't live anywhere near her at the time. So
no. I've got who I want.
Yeah. So that's why we went to see it, and we had just eaten I had just eaten the most amazing 14-ounce New York strip for our anniversary. So I didn't even get any popcorn or drink. I usually do. It was 2.5 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this for it. I have this app called PEETIME, P Time.
Yeah.
Right? And because I'm 47 and I need to go to the bathroom sometimes. So so I'm sitting in the movie, and when the 1991 comes up on the screen, you push start and a little timer goes off and you put it in your pocket and it buzzes, and there's like 3 opportunities in this movie to go use the restroom. Right?
Okay, you have to tell me in the spoiler section what the 3 opportunities were.
Well, I'll have to look it up on the app, but I don't. Yeah, I have my phone with me. Anyway, and but I didn't go either one, any of them, because I was so interested in the movie. So
good.
So tell us about whenever you went to see it.
We saw it the Tuesday night after it opened. I don't go to opening weekends anymore unless it's something we can't wait for. But we always go to the reserved seat theater. Right. So I reserved my tickets for Tuesday night after it opened, and we actually saw it with Kelly and Ricky Williams, who were in our Movie Talk Facebook group.
Oh, cool.
They were there. She saw me at church and said, "When are y'all going to see it?" I said, I think it was Tuesday, or maybe it was Sunday night. And she goes, "Oh, we're going to see it this week too." And next thing I know, they're there at the popcorn line. So I said, "Well, I hope you don't have our next to our seats." I said, "We're sitting in this row 6, 7, 8." She goes, "Oh, we're at 5 and 6 or something." So we were right beside each other. It was crazy.
Well, y'all were on top of each other because you were
Pretty
6,
much.
7, and 8, and she was 5 and 6. So I I hope he sat on your lap.
And we were actually 7, 8, 9. I correct that. Okay. But we saw it then, and then I saw it again.
Oh.
I saw it twice.
See, I haven't seen it twice.
So, and the second time was even better.
Yeah.
So, but it's different because I had a different viewpoint the second time about different characters and different thoughts on things. I've read a lot of reviews on it. I've got different people's attention. I love the good, bad, and the ugly articles about it. But don't read those till after you see it,
right?
Because then you'll get more out of the intense detail that they give about it. Yeah. But me and Davis have trained ourselves, and I'm 48, so I also could probably use that P Time app. But we've trained ourselves that we really just eat to start with. The popcorn is usually half gone before the trailers are finished, and by that time Davis has his arms over the popcorn, so you can't touch any more. And I'm like, dude, we can refill it before the movie even starts.
That's right. What's your problem, kid?
Yeah. So anyway, so but no, we're pretty good. We go right before we go before we go in. If we're real early, we'll go again 5 minutes before we go in just to make sure, and then we make it through the whole movie. So we haven't had to leave a movie in quite a few years, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
You're a better man than me.
Trained.
Yes. All right, so it surprised me. I would recommend the movie, even if you haven't seen any of the other Avengers or Marvel or anything like that. I would recommend the movie just as a fun, summer movie. Lots of action, lots of comedy, lots of humor in it, and I would go see it. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, we were going to come up with a rating system.
Yeah.
For these movies, and what did we decide on?
A kid's size popcorn, small popcorn, a medium popcorn, a large popcorn, or a jumbo popcorn.
As far as Marvel's movies go, I would give this a jumbo popcorn because two of my favorite movies of Marvel are The Avengers, the first one, and The Winter Soldier. Yeah. And the Avengers, the first one, because it had so much introduction, it had a lot of great action, but then Winter Soldier had so much story and so much depth to it.
Uh-huh.
And to me, this movie got both of those.
Yeah.
Which is no coincidence that the guys that directed Winter Soldier directed this.
Yeah.
The Captain America team, the Russo brothers. But they brought in all the special effects and all the action of the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Missing a few minor things, which we'll talk about in spoilers. But otherwise,
right.
It just comboed so many great things. This is one of those movies that I wouldn't say is necessarily go for the bright lights and the colors and the action. You go for story.
Uh-huh.
This movie to me captured what makes comic books good for adults in that there's more depth to it. 3 and 4 year olds like the colors, they like the pictures, they like a few words, whereas older kids and adults get into comics. As I read comics, I read Lock and Key, I read, Invincible, and I read some other different stuff that's not just Walking Dead, not just superhero stuff. And I like story. I like in-depth stuff, and certain comics give those. And this movie gave a lot of story, I thought. It could have actually given more if it didn't have so many characters in it.
Right.
But it was like an all-star team. But I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it the second time even more.
Yeah. I don't know if it had enough characters, David. I think they could have used a few more special people in it.
You mean like villains? Yeah, okay. Yeah, they kind of.
Yeah, there weren't any villains. Well, there was.
There was one.
A villain. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, which, by the way, we will get to this, but I'm talking about story. They told enough story that I wasn't totally lost on who this guy was that was getting foreign words spoken to him. You know, because I don't know all that story,
Right.
And so they told enough for me to not be totally lost. Well, I figured it out. It took a second, but I did figure it out. Another
thing they doing well with these movies is they're using material from the books, but they're not necessarily plagiarizing the comics.
Yeah.
They're definitely taking some liberties, and I thought they did okay liberties with this.
All right. Well, before we get to the spoiler section where we start talking about all the details, I recommend the movie. I give it a large popcorn. I can't give it a jumbo because, there's movies out there that just, like Revenant. How can you not give that a jumbo popcorn? Anyway, so I
you could actually eat a jumbo popcorn. That was hard. Certain parts.
Well, yeah. Oh, we're not going to eat these Red Hots during this scene.
No.
Ooh, cherry Coke? No, let's do something else. But definitely give it a large popcorn, which for me, for a Marvel movie is really good because I'm not the huge Marvel fan.
Did you see it in 3D?
No, because I went with Connie, and Connie doesn't like 3D. But I'm going to go see it again, and I'm going to see it in 3D.
I don't. You have to tell me that because I don't watch movies in 3D. The last one I watched was SpongeBob. I hated the movie. I hated the experience. I'm not a 3D fan.
Okay,
Oh,
all right, but look, you can't rate 3D on SpongeBob. Come
true,
on.
very true. I'm just saying. We did 3D for that because I wanted that extra experience because I knew the movie itself was not going to do it for me.
Yeah,
we just went for Davis, and then we wore the wrong glasses. I wore the kid glasses. He wore the adult glasses by accident, so that kind of messed it up too. I know.
Really, like the size didn't make it obvious.
Not until I looked at the picture later at home. I took a picture of it, and then I looked at it later. I'm like, I don't like these.
No wonder I hated the movie. Only half of it was in 3D.
And Davis was like, mine are fine. I can see everything. I'm like,
that is
mine
just
are kind of tight.
That's just too funny. You're like, I can't even see the sides of the screen. This is horrible. No, but they've done so much with 3D now. It's not like a gimmick anymore. You know, so like.
Do you wear it with your glasses?
Yeah, they fit right over my glasses. Heck,
okay.
Man, I can't even see you without my glasses. What are you talking about?
I would wear contacts.
But I mean, now it's like it's just you don't even really notice it. It just becomes another dimension of the movie, a third dimension.
Well, if we happen to be in the same theater sometime that's funny.
Yeah.
If we happen to be in the same theater sometime this summer, maybe you can take me to a 3D movie or something. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah. How is that cool that that's coming together?
That's awesome.
All right, so David gives it a jumbo popcorn. That's 5 stars out of 5 if you're a star person. I give it a large. That's 4 out of 5. And we are now going to the spoiler section, which I do not have any of my setup here. So, spoiler.
Spoiler, Dwayne's not prepared.
He's
not ready. I know it's funny. We just did our podcast with Jason the other night.
Yeah.
And it went to like 1:15. I think when we were wrapping up, and I was like, dude, I'm like, why are we starting at 10 o'clock? He says, Dwayne goes, because you got kids. And you said we had to start at 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh, they're grown now. They can put themselves to bed.
Yeah.
We're going to start starting earlier.
Yeah. You've been telling us 10 o'clock now for like a year and a half or 2 years. It used to always be, well, I got to put Davis to bed and all this kind of stuff. I was like, okay, well, 10 o'clock. And that's 9 o'clock for me. So, anyway. So
we might try earlier next year. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So, Civil War, Captain America Civil War. So, David, you know a whole lot more about this universe than I do. So, I'm going to depend a lot on you. I really enjoyed the movie. And I'll just go ahead and get to the Winter Soldier guy. Right? I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea who he was. Apparently.
Because you fell asleep in the first movie.
Apparently. But he was like one of my favorite characters in the whole movie. The Winter, like now I wish I hadn't given you the Winter Soldier bobblehead. Or little, what are they called? They're not bobbleheads.
They're Funkos.
Yeah. Notice I don't have any cool little Funkos on my shelf because no one loves me.
Well, maybe you will after July. You never know. So.
But he was probably...
but you don't like Marvel, so how am I going to send you any Marvel characters if you don't like them?
Oh my gosh! Little bit sidetrack. Have you seen the last episode of GOT?
Yes.
The ending scene was, I applauded alone in my living room.
Okay, but we can't spoil that.
I know, but I applauded. Did you? I mean, it was like, okay, I want to go fight for the Dothraki. Okay? I mean, come on. Let me get up and do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so the Winter Soldier guy, most interesting. I didn't even realize he was Captain America's best friend as a kid. That was pretty awesome.
That's what happens when you should have gone back and watching Captain America: The First Avenger, because when they fought on the train and Captain America was fighting and Bucky was there and there's a couple other soldiers, Bucky fell off into this mountainous ravine and got frozen. And then the Red Skull found him, his Hydra found him and turned him into a zombie. Yeah. Obviously you say the right 10 words and he turns into your soldier.
Yeah.
So, and that's where the Winter Soldier came from. So when you saw the Winter Soldier, did you know who he was?
Well, I don't remember the Winter Soldier. See, I don't remember movies. Really, I probably should have seen this one again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So okay. So for me, and if you're a Marvel geek, then you're going to hate the fact I don't know this stuff. And I'm sorry, there's other podcasts, but tell me, why, like, when does his "I'm obedient to you, master" stop? At what point?
I think it's a physical stop. It's almost like he gets hit hard enough, or I don't think it's a time thing necessarily, or maybe when his mission is complete, that's when he's done. or at the same time he reports back to where he's supposed to report back to. Because they always seem to. Because there's some stuff like I'm watching Gotham right now, and Gotham is dealing with Dr. Hugo Strange, which is the Batman timeline, and he's creating monsters, and he's giving them he mentally changes them, and he gives them orders, sends them off, and he expects them to come back. But sometimes they go out and they like what they're doing, and they never come back. So with him, he always seems to come back. He's never left his duties as a Hydra soldier, the Winter Soldier, but But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question in the sense that I think when his mission's done, he just reports back. He just goes till his mission is complete, and then he comes back.
Huh.
So, but once he's under that spell, so to speak, he is fighting everybody good.
Oh my
He's
gosh,
just leaving, escaping. So they just do everything they can to stop him.
I know. That was one of the coolest scenes, though. The when the guy comes in and the Winter Soldier's in that glass box or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he starts saying the words, and the Winter Soldier knows what's happening. And he's like, stop, stop. Oh, man, it was so good.
It looked like the best ride at Disney World or something, to sit in that car with your hands strapped down and your body strapped in. I'm like, that looks like an awesome ride.
Yeah.
You were to take off on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Now, see, that was one of the parts that I didn't like. To me, it was like, you could take so many avenues on this, or so many directions with this, but you just said, let's just make it easy. They put so much into the heroes and their fight and their struggle. They gave the Registration Act a little bit of time, but it really came down to protecting the Winter Soldier. That's what these other people were doing. They were fighting to let him get away, because that's kind of what they were doing. But with the bad guy, Zemo, he did so much work. He was just a regular guy. He wasn't anything super special. Obviously, he was smart and patient, but he got to be the psychiatrist and work his way all the way into that building to be the one person that gets to talk to the Winter Soldier.
Well, he killed the psychiatrist.
True. But well, that's true.
The psychiatrist is in a tub.
You're right. He did. He somehow he got past all the security measures to get into that. I liked how in the second Star Trek, Benedict Cumberbatch, he not blackmailed the guy, but he got the guy to do what he wanted at the beginning of the movie by using his child against him or something like that. So I was expecting more of that, but I don't know. He wasn't such a great villain as he was just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Which kind of was, I don't know. It was good and bad at the same time. It was good that it made him less of a villain because it put more of the emphasis on the heroes. But at the same time, I would have rather him be more of a mastermind. The one thing they did right though is they kept him alive. I get tired of when these movies kill off the bad guy. Like Crossbones at the beginning of the movie. He's blown up and he's gone. Yeah. He's a neat bad guy. Why let him go like that? But that's the thing. Once you kill people off, in the comic books, people come back to life all the time.
Yeah, really.
But in the movies, once you kill them off, they're usually gone unless they do a reboot of the whole franchise.
Yeah. So basically, let me just make sure that I understand what happened in this movie. Because of all the destruction that Superman does, and all the destruction that the Avengers have done, all of a sudden people are opening their eyes to what has been glaringly obvious to me in every superhero movie I've ever seen is, wow, y'all are doing billions of dollars of damage to all these buildings and probably killing tons of people, right?
Right.
And so the UN, which is a whole scary thing anyway in real life, the UN has decided that they're going to have they're going to put a what over them, like a committee or something?
They're going to put people over them that control where they go, when they go, and how they do it.
Right. So basically, they no longer work for themselves. They now have to have this oversight committee, which is just,
exactly.
Which is crazy. Like, let the generals run the war when they're out in the field. Stop having some guy in an office do it. Right?
Right.
That's kind of what's happening. And I was kind of surprised at how it split up. Well, anyway, and so some of them go with that, some of them don't, and because of the Winter Soldier, Captain America absolutely doesn't, and it just becomes this big mess.
Well, I think Captain America, even if the Winter Soldier wasn't involved, Captain America wouldn't have gone anyway.
Right, he still wouldn't.
Because he said, my job is when there's trouble, I go.
Right,
regardless. I don't need anybody to tell me to go, and like he told Tony, what happens if they say we can't go?
Yeah.
And the big thing to me is mostly, I don't think it's so much property as it is collateral human damage. That's the worst thing. And I love the scene with Tony and I want to say Viola Davis, I think is her name, but I'm not sure. I think it's who it was, in the hallway. She says, my son, he was over there when you guys were doing all your fighting and you didn't care. He was over there, but he's not coming back.
Right.
because you guys did what you did. And then, like Vision said, would all these beings be coming to take over this world if we weren't here? He's asked the question, did we bring about all this stuff,
Yeah.
like a guilt thing? But at the same time, Loki was okay with taking over the world. And who was going to stop Loki and those aliens? Nobody, if it wasn't for the Avengers.
Right.
So, but the neat thing is, I liked how they did this as compared to the comics. I'm actually in the middle of reading the Civil War series right now. And in the comics, so here's a little comic spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this, skip ahead 30 seconds. But in the comics, it's a similar thing where it's a registration act. And there's these kids, superhero little kids. Some of them have power, some of them don't. But they are a reality team. And they chasing these villains. And they're trying to get on TV. They're like, hey, make sure you get the cameras rolling because we're going to catch these guys in this house and we're going to arrest them. And they go after these guys, and I forget his name right now. But there's one kid who can blow himself up like a nuclear bomb and then come back to life.
With the power of a nuclear bomb? Like
he has
Hiroshima?
The power okay, not Hiroshima, but it's a huge bomb.
Okay.
I mean, big enough to take out a school, a neighborhood, pretty big.
Okay.
So they go after this guy. He gets out of the house. They catch all the other criminals, but he gets out. He runs. He stops near a school bus, which is next to a school, and turns around to face the kid coming at him. When the kid comes at him, the guy just blows up and then comes up back later and goes somewhere else. He took out a school bus, a lot of kids, and this is what started the Registration Act in the Civil War series.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So here we get Scarlet Witch doing it. She's the one that, well, I wouldn't say it was just all her fault, but that was the one thing that set this movie off. Was her trying to get Crossbones out of the way with his bomb, and she kills that innocent people. It happens.
Well, really,
it's part of the unfortunate.
Really, this is probably one of the most realistic aspects that has. I mean, because usually superhero movies just ignore all the human people, as opposed to alien people. All the humans that die while they're trying to save people. I mean, these huge fights, and they kill so many people in them, even though they don't show us them dying. When a building falls, people die. And finally it's like, okay, we're going to do a movie where we actually address this, because the realistic approach is, people are going to die if you're fighting evil people. But
that's why this movie got a jumbo popcorn for me, because it was grounded in human emotions and human reactions. And that's what this wasn't Mickey Rourke putting on electronic whips and trying to beat Iron Man and Iron Man 2. This wasn't, Guy Pearce being the Mandalorian whatever, and just trying to be all superhuman. This was a real people issue. Right. And that's what I liked about it. Now, did you recognize? I'm gonna test your Marvel movie knowledge. Did you recognize the general that sat at the table? The Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Thaddeus Thunderbolt was his name.
Yeah, that's William Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because
do you remember?
I'm so knowledgeable.
I know. As you look down and read the name.
Shut up! No, you don't see the computer down below me.
Do you remember the last Incredible Hulk movie, or last Hulk movie?
No, I don't.
With Edward Norton.
I didn't even see the Hulk movies.
You should see it. It's really good.
I probably should see Ant-Man. I should probably see all kinds of stuff.
We're gonna have a marathon in July.
I'm only gonna be there for a day and a half.
That's all we need. That's all we need. Wives, call us in 8 hours. We'll be ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in the last Hulk movie when Edward Norton was the Hulk. I don't know if you know who Edward Norton is, but he was in the last Hulk movie, so he actually comes back and reprises his role. So that was kind of cool.
All right, so I have a serious issue with Paul Bettany, who I thought was much better in. Crud! My mind goes blank when I actually need to think of something.
Knight's Tale. Oh,
yes, A Knight's Tale. Oh, he was so good in that. But anyway,
he's been in a lot of stuff. But how did I know the one that you liked him in?
Because he's so funny in that one.
He's Chaucer, Geoffrey Chaucer.
Yeah. So Vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I remember about the last Captain America movie,
Ultron movie.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, was it that one?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the only movie he's been in.
Whatever.
Ultron.
The one thing I remember is that the whole movie ends because Vision comes and ain't nobody hurting Vision. He was like so powerful. I was like, okay, look, he's not God, but it was like he was God. Nothing could beat him. He was absolutely the most amazing hero ever. Nothing can destroy him. And in this movie, he's a babysitter and does nothing. I mean, it's what a waste. I mean, it's almost like, okay, well, we can't put Vision in the fight because nobody can beat him. And yet he's a babysitter. And then when he is in the fight, he's a wimp. What happened to Mr. Vision from the end of the other movie?
Well, in the first movie, I don't think Vision realized all of his powers, all of what he could do. He did some things pretty neat, but in this movie, his powers are expanded. I mean, he's getting to know the gem's getting to know him type thing. He wants to know all about what this thing is because that's what gave him his final thing.
What are you talking about?
The gemstone that's in his head.
Oh, the gemstone. Okay.
So, do you know who Thanos is? Thanos is the big guy with the gauntlet, the big thing at the end of the Ultron movie. He's got to get all the stones, the Infinity Stones in his gauntlet to be all powerful. That's what the next movies are about, the Infinity War. Have you ever heard of that? So it's about Thanos. But anyway, one of those stones is in Vision. It's gonna have to come out. If he's gonna get in the gauntlet. But anyway.
But that doesn't answer my question.
No, it doesn't. I don't know. He did get beat up in the Ultron movie. Ultron beat him up. He threw him on the wall and knocked him down for a while. So he wasn't perfect. But this movie, he used his, in and out phase where he goes through things or goes through people, So, I mean, he's not perfect. He's still like a symbiotic type thing. And people are going to correct me if that's wrong because I don't know. I don't know everything about Vision.
Oh, believe me.
He's cool.
I'm sure people will have all kinds of things to say about whether we're right or wrong about stuff.
Yeah, because like you said, one of us knows stuff. I know some. I don't know everything. Yeah. I've already been wrong probably 7 times. But anyway.
Well, it just kind of surprised me because my impression of him at the end of that other movie was this guy's invincible. Because, he shows up and everything stops. I
think he's a babysitter for 2 reasons. Because I think when he's out in public, he scares people because of what he looks like. Yeah. And 2, he's also close to Scarlet Witch. In the comics, they have a relationship. In fact, they get married and have kids in the comics.
Well, but that was interesting.
That's interesting. So my question is, even on the other side, when Black Widow is fighting the guys in the beginning, she takes the 2 that go this way, and Falcon takes the 2 that go that way. They're chasing that little nuclear thing. But when she's hitting that armored vehicles, why aren't those guys are holding guns so that she can beat them up? I mean, she's beating everybody up while they're holding guns. I'm like, hey, turn the gun and shoot her. Yeah. But anyway, it's silly stuff like that.
You can't kill Scarlett Johansson.
No, you cannot.
She's Scarlett Johansson. I'm sorry.
Don't touch Scarlett.
No.
Not at all.
No. All right. So Vision basically babysat, what was it, Wanda Maximoff?
Maximoff. Now, she is the daughter of, do you know who?
Wait.
Come on, you do.
The guy that can read minds?
Yes. No, not read minds. He wears the helmet so Professor X cannot read his mind.
Oh, he's the was the bad guy. Yeah, yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Magneto.
Yeah. Who's her mom?
I'd have to read the comics for that. I don't know that one.
It's not.
Her mom is in the X-Men movies. Remember oh shoot, I just drew Quicksilver.
Oh,
have you seen the X-Men movies?
Yes.
Okay, the guy that runs around in the not the Pentagon, but whatever they're holding Magneto. He runs
coming down your steps. I hope they're dressed.
Okay. Come on down, Gracie. Yeah, Quicksilver. He's in the Magneto movies where they break Magneto out of the DC jail.
Yeah.
He runs circles around the kitchen to change things and slow everything down.
Oh, yeah.
That's her brother, just in a different set of movies. Remember, her brother got killed in Ultron, but in the X-Men, it's the same kid, same character. I
like that.
So that's their mom right there.
Yeah.
I guess.
Cool.
But they don't have her sister in there. That's interesting.
Yeah. And then Ross comes back. Ross is always pretty cool. Plus, I just love Martin Freeman. He's amazing.
Why couldn't they let him speak in an English accent?
I don't know.
Is it because of his other characters? They think it's Bilbo or it's Dr. Watson. I mean, I hate when they make people speak in a foreign accent that doesn't need to be in a foreign accent because it's kind of an international group, right?
Yeah.
I mean, by this time, this is all international. I'm like, why does he got to be American?
Well, where is Ross from? I don't even know.
I don't know the character, but I know that Martin Freeman is from.
No, I know England. Where Martin Freeman's from, and no, he's not Morgan. A little skin tone difference there.
And height, yeah.
Now, Ant-Man was absolutely hilarious, and if that is any indication to what the movie is like, I want to see Ant-Man.
We're watching that here. I'll save that. We'll watch that.
So together. Is it? I mean, because it was, I really liked it.
The whole movie. It's more like humorous than Civil War, definitely because of him and his friends.
That sounds
he is a regular guy in a super suit. That's what he is. So he's a regular guy, which makes it great. Like Iron Man. Whereas Iron Man, though, he's got some cred now. He's got a resume. He's got more things going on. Paul Rudd's just a a thief. He's just a thief in a super suit.
You want to tell me why when Ant-Man becomes Gigantor Man, my own name there, why do they move extra slow when they're Gigantor Man? Why can't you move in normal speed? Have you ever noticed that? Like, anytime someone's huge, it's like, oh. It's like, come on.
It's like comparing an 80-year-old man to a 4-year-old child. The child's going to run circles around the man.
Yeah, but it's the same guy. He's just bigger. So shouldn't he move just as fast when he's big?
Why does an airplane look like it's going so slow when it's going hundreds of miles an hour in the air?
So you think it's a physics thing?
Yeah, I think it's a physics thing.
You think it's an optical illusion?
That plane is going so fast, I should not see it that well, but I see it.
Yeah, but look how close. But it's far away. Ant-Man, Gigantor Man, is right, like you and me right here, and he's still going like that.
We enjoy it better that way. Yeah, because he reaches out to stop War Machine. It pulls him back in.
Yeah. Slow.
Yes.
I became big, but I'm slow.
Ant-Man doesn't have the dramatic depth that this one does. Ant-Man is fun. It is fun. And it's also got Evangeline Lilly, which I'm really surprised you didn't see that movie.
Oh, Evangeline Lilly's fun to watch.
She's a good actress.
Yeah, she is. So is it as funny? Well, it's like funny like Deadpool, but not adult like Deadpool.
Yeah, the humor is a little bathroom humor, but it's more teenage humor type stuff. More like 20-year-old guys.
Why isn't Deadpool part of the Avengers?
Different movie lineup. He's in another group. He is at some points in life in the comic books, but right now he's in a different company. Well, no, he's not. He's Marvel, but he's working more with the X-Men side than the Avengers side.
And why isn't the UN or the whatever putting some kind of proclamation on the X-Men people?
Because they're in different movies. They're dealing with Apocalypse right now.
Yeah, but it's the same universe. You said like they do coexist.
It is, but if you look at those storylines, the storylines with the mutants and the X-Men is they're trying to stay secluded. They're trying to stay private. They're not trying to be out in the open.
All right.
They didn't really come out in the open until Days of Future Past when they fought over their ships at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
All right.
They weren't really all that known till then. Now, the two characters I thought were worth mentioning were Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
Who we came home. We within days. Davis bought a Black Panther Funko.
Yeah.
And the new Spider-Man.
Yes.
Two scene stealers.
Okay, Spider-Man was hilarious.
Spider-Man was great. And you know what? That's the guy that everybody I think associates with a young, silly, quick-witted, but kind of what? Yeah. That kind of kid is who we want to see as Spider-Man. And that was great with now I forgot her name. Who's May?
Some hot 40-something-year-old.
That's my cousin Vinny. What's her name?
I don't remember, but that's hilarious.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I can't remember her name.
Wait, what is? Oh, Aunt May. Just a second.
Yeah.
Let me look it up here. Full cast and crew. I'm very surprised you don't remember this because you always know everybody.
There are 500 people in this movie.
I know.
I wouldn't have said Marissa Tomei. That's what it is.
Dadgummit, can you give me anything?
Sorry.
Marissa Tomei.
My reputation was on the line.
Let's see how old she is.
49.
Shut up.
52. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
She's 5 years older than me, so she's 53.
Okay, I was close.
And she is adorable, and I love how Tony is like, man, I love your aunt,
Yeah. Okay. Now that we've talked, I'm gonna go talk to her a little bit more.
Yeah. But that was pretty cool. I really liked it.
That was neat. That's probably the youngest version of Spider-Man and Aunt May we've seen. But now the funny thing was Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther, is completely American, born in South Carolina, and he had the best accent I thought of anybody in the movie. I was so impressed. Davis came out of there like, oh my gosh, like number 2 now on my list of superheroes, Black Panther. He never really lost. Black Widow was the only one that really slowed him down in the airport, but otherwise, he kind of won almost everything he got into.
Yeah, he was pretty. So he was born. So unbeknownst to his father, he was born with. I mean, are these like superpowers, or is this just he puts on a suit and he fights better than everybody else?
I am not the Black Panther expert, but I think it has a lot to do with the suit. Now, he is trained to be a warrior,
Okay.
but I believe his suit is what gives him the advantages that he has.
Okay. All right. Well, Spider-Man was awesome. He was hilarious. Lots of funny lines.
Yeah, because the way Black Panther talked, it sounded like it was handed down from warrior to warrior, like his father used to be the Black Panther. I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about Black Panther.
Look that up.
So I'll look that up.
So one of the funny things I liked about Spider-Man was how he would be like, "Oh man, I can't believe I get to see you. You're amazing."
Exactly. Him and Ant-Man both had the fan reaction. Ant-Man shaking Captain Man. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm meeting you, and I'm probably shaking your hand longer than I should right now.
Yeah.
That was so great. Hey, y'all remember that old movie with the Empire Strikes Back? I love it. And then War Machine's like, "How young is this kid?" He goes, I didn't carbon date him or anything.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
All right.
Spider-Man and Black Panther stole every scene they were in, as far as I'm concerned. They were great.
So, can you guess who my least favorite character is in this movie, and in every movie this character is in? Annoyingly least favorite character.
Is it one of the superheroes?
It's probably because of the actor/actress that plays the part. That probably has a lot to do with it, but.
Oh wow, annoying.
I don't enjoy when the character's on the screen. I don't enjoy hearing the character talk. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard anytime I see this character.
Oh my goodness.
Even in non get up, even when they're just walking around.
Go get me the Black Panther and Scarlet Witch.
And the one I got you.
And the Winter Soldier.
And stand behind him holding them all.
So this is somebody in costume that gets on your nerves.
And also when they're not in costume.
It's not Robert Downey, is it?
No, I actually like Robert Downey, but you're very close.
I have no idea. I can't imagine who you would not like to watch in this movie.
War Machine.
Oh, Don Cheadle?
The most annoying freaking character in the whole movie. I can't stand his character. I can't stand the way. It's just. I can't even think of a movie that Don Cheadle was in that maybe I actually liked him in it.
Traitor. Go watch Traitor.
Okay.
That is a really good movie.
I don't know why either. Of course, there's some people that, listen to us and go, "Man, I can't stand the way that Dwaine guy laughs."
Can't stand any podcast they do. I can't even, whether they're in makeup or not.
Well, I don't know what all movies he's been in, so let me click on him and see, because Hey, dude! Oh. Wow, it's Black Panther.
That's Davis's. At the same time, Gracie bought this one. If you can tell who that is.
Who is that? Wait, that's the ball girl, the girl that does the ball. Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, the ball girl.
Wait, what?
He called her the ball girl. And you got this guy.
That ugly. Ugh. Ugly.
Wait, does he know the name of the animal?
Okay, he has been.
Hey,
Captain America.
Davis
you know what, Davis? I'm not a geek.
He's not a geek, so he doesn't know everybody that's in there.
Is that Winter Soldier?
That is Bucky Barnes. Yes.
Is that the one I got you?
Mm-hmm.
What a nice friend I was.
I hope everybody heard that, Davis. Does he know the name of any of them?
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking at. I don't know
Don
that
Cheadle's in Ocean's 11.
Oh, okay. I loved him in the Ocean's movies.
He acted British
because he was playing a funny character. I don't like him when he's playing like a serious character, and he's always so serious in these Iron Man movies and stuff.
You should watch Hotel Rwanda. That's another one that's really good.
But won't he be serious in that? Because that's when I don't like him, is when he's all serious.
No, I think he's in this one. He's like, I'm wearing a uniform. I have to be serious. That's kind of how he is in the Iron Man movies, and plus he's the second Brody. He's not the first. Terrence Howard was the first one.
Yeah.
But I liked him in this one. In fact, you didn't like him in Iron Man 2 where they joked about the name War Machine or Iron Patriot?
Well, I might have liked. Okay, I like him when he's being funny. I don't like him when he's being serious.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because I don't like the way Don Cheadle plays serious.
I think he's a great actor.
Well, yeah, he obviously is. Obviously, I'm sitting here scrolling down his movie credits. So he's obviously a good actor. It's just, I like him better when he's being funny.
Yeah.
And he was definitely funny in the Ocean's movies.
So you're not a fan. That's fair.
No. And so what was with Iron Man's girlfriend? Or whatever? Why wasn't she in the movie?
Probably for contractual reasons. Couldn't pay her enough.
Yeah.
But they also say that was part of his guilt, in that one of the reasons he wanted to sign the Registration Act was because of she wanted him to. She was because she really struggled in the last movie, Iron Man 3, dealing with all the stuff he goes through and all the fighting and the death and stuff. She wants him to get out of it, And I think that was part of his reasoning for going and picking the side that he took, was that for her. So
who have we not talked about? We haven't talked about Barton. Earlier when I talked about Ross, I was thinking Barton. So who the heck is Ross?
Ross is that's the general, the Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense, whatever he was.
Oh yeah, forget him. I don't care about him.
You're talking about Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, I liked his character.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, so he came
back. I
like
him too,
only
and
to
I
get
liked.
Put in jail.
And you had a good question about why did they choose which side. I think he chose Captain America's side because he doesn't want anybody knowing his family. His family, remember from last movie, is way out in the woods, all secluded.
Yeah.
Nick Fury set that up for him, where nobody can reach him or touch him. So he likes the privacy. He wants to keep the privacy.
Yeah.
And I also liked how he came in for Maximoff. He came in for Scarlet Witch because they formed kind of a relationship in the Ultron movie. Right. He helped her step out into her. And she had the best two scenes in Ultron, where she came out and did that. And then when she felt her brother get hit, that she reacted to that. And that was just showed her power. Because if you know anything about the Marvel Universe, you'll know that Scarlet Witch is one of the more powerful people in the universe. She has mind control. She has the physical stuff. She is extremely powerful.
Who is she, and was she she wasn't in this movie?
Scarlet Witch?
Yeah.
She's the ball girl.
Oh, that's Scarlet Witch.
Wow. You're doing that on purpose, aren't you?
Well, let's just say for the purpose of this podcast and our listeners, yes, I was.
Okay. But
it doesn't say Scarlet Witch under her picture. It says Wanda Maximoff.
That's because that's her real name. What does it say under Jeremy Renner?
Clint Barton.
Yeah, it doesn't say the Hawkeye name. That's all.
Oh, what an idiot. Well,
Tony
come
Stark,
on,
Steve
IMDb.
I'll get you some pictures next time.
So who is Kate? Because she's pretty. Emily Van Camp. What does she play?
Kate is she's a blonde?
Blonde, brunette, depending on what day it is.
Isn't that Captain America's girlfriend now?
No, I don't remember.
Emily Van Camp. See, I'm going to have to turn on my ducks.
No. All right, so who's Crossbones? We haven't talked about Crossbones.
Crossbones was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who was like one of the leaders of a group who worked with Captain America in the Winter Soldier until Hydra came out, and they realized that S.H.I.E.L.D. had Hydra inside. And Crossbones was one of those soldiers. He was in the building that he fought the Falcon.
Well, why is he on the IMDb list of Captain America Civil War?
Because he's the first bad guy that got blown up when Scarlet Witch picked him up and threw him into the building.
Okay.
He's the one I said they killed off too fast. I wish they'd have kept him. Wow.
Man, this whole Hydra, all this stuff, it's so confusing.
No, it's not. There's two factions. There's S.H.I.E.L.D. and there's Hydra. And then in Winter Soldier, we found out that Hydra had moles inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it happened simultaneously on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So that's why S.H.I.E.L.D. got destroyed, broken up. Nick Fury took off. And that's why he said in Age of Ultron, I pulled this out of the mothballs, this ship. I pulled together a few friends, a few S.H.I.E.L.D. people that he trusted, and they came and saved everybody. Got him off that floating rock.
All right. So IMDb gives it 8.3 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 90%.
Mm-hmm. It's one. I think it's the highest rated Marvel movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Time says it's that rare superhero movie that doesn't grind you down with nonstop action, or worse yet, the usual tiresome cavalcade of smart arse wisecracks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One thing I did not like about it was the prolonged fight scenes. Some of the fight scenes were really long.
Yeah.
Like the Iron Man, Captain America, Winter Soldier fight scene just went on and on and on and on. And, Iron Man ends fights with one or two things. He couldn't end those two, which shows their power.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when they were heading all towards that frozen tundra area, where the 5 other super soldiers were, I looked at my watch. I'm like, my goodness, we're getting ready to fight 5 of the strongest people in the world with 3 people this is going to take at least 30 to 40 minutes to get through these 5 people.
Yeah, it was a 2.5-hour movie.
So when Zemo said, "Don't worry, I've already killed them for you," I'm like, "Oh, good. That saved like 30 minutes right there." Thank you. But it showed how human Zemo was, in that I didn't want more of you. I didn't want any of you. In fact, I want to get rid of you. He's just human.
Yeah.
And I like that. That was good. But like I said, I liked that they didn't kill him off, because at the end, Martin Freeman says, "You failed." He goes, "Did I? Did I really fail?"
See, I don't. Okay, that's another thing and I just remembered. It shows you why I need to see the movie again. Is Tony Stark really that irrational and that out of control that he's going to kill Buckeye when he knows that it wasn't Buckeye who did it? That's just stupid. Come on.
Who's Buckeye?
Is
it
it not
Hawkeye or Bucky?
It
Barnes?
says Bucky.
Bucky.
Whatever.
Hawkeye is Clint.
Shut up. Bucky.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start over then. So let's start over again. Is Tony really, it just seems, he's a hothead. But my goodness, he's at least smart enough to know that it isn't Bucky who did it. It was the bad guys that did it.
Yes.
And yet he's like insatiable.
I don't think he's going to kill him. I think he's just going to beat him to the point where he puts a pile of human flesh in jail. He could kill him, yes.
He might kill him.
Well, then why are you asking the question? He wasn't for the first 90% of the movie, no. In the last 10%, yes. Once he realized what he did to his parents, he didn't care who controlled him. He was going to finish him.
That's what I'm talking about. But Bucky didn't actually do it.
Correct. Physically he did. Mentally he did not.
Right. So why would Tony do that? It seems very irrational and over the top for Tony to kill Bucky. And that's what he was trying to do.
Tony's dealing with a lot of stress. His girlfriend, wife is not with him right now. He's got people stopping him in front of elevators, telling him that he killed their children. And this is because like you said, it didn't really explain why people necessarily chose which side. I wish it had shown a little bit more why Tony went the way he did, because when they first meet in that conference room, he's sitting in the back. He's already signed. It's like he's already given up. He says, "Fine, you take control. We'll go from there." But at this point also, he's an advisor. He's not necessarily Iron Man, because he didn't have his suit the first time Winter Soldier got out. He had to fight by hand, and that didn't do too well for him. But I don't know. It's to me, it's an emotional thing. He just saw his parents get killed on screen, and he just saw the guy do it. He knows deep down that he's affected by the mental stuff that he went through, but at the same time, there's a guy right there that just killed your parents. Killed his mother. So
there's the encasing, but not the it's the physical person, but not the person. And what annoys me is he's smart enough to know that this is exactly what Zemo wants.
Mm-hmm.
All right? He's like, okay, Zemo wants us to get mad at each other and kill each other. Okay. I'm just going to do exactly what Zemo wants so Zemo can win. Even though this whole time I've been trying to protect us from Zemo, or, the last 10% of the movie, I've come to the light and realized that Bucky's not really a bad guy. And so Bucky really didn't do all these things. It was the other guy in him and all that kind of stuff until they show his parents get killed rather horribly. And then he just goes off the deep end. I didn't like that part. That almost puts it down to a medium popcorn, but I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not so much Bucky didn't. I think the first part of the movie for Iron Man, it was Bucky was the guy that blew up the building, and then they find out Bucky's not the guy that blew up the building.
Right.
Iron Man doesn't reference all the hundreds of kills that he has as an assassin. He doesn't go into all that. He doesn't need to. But yeah, I think when his parents come up and he sees the guy, whether he was mentally right or not, he's still going to take him. That's Tony. That's irrational Tony. Because in the books, Tony's an alcoholic.
Okay.
He goes through all kinds of depression. So yeah, he's got issues. He's not Captain Rogers. He's not Steve Rogers.
All right. Well, then it does play to his character, because to me, that shows him as an out of control, not rational person.
Which is why he chose to go along with the Registration Act. And Captain America said, if I see something wrong, I'm going to do something about it. I don't care who tells me to do it or not, which is what split them.
All right. So how's this movie end, and what can we look forward to? Is there what's the next movie in this line? Do you know this? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I know that Doctor Strange is in November. Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange, which you will probably see. Yes, indeed.
I like Mr. Benedict.
Yes, he's coming in November. I don't know if there's somewhere. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming up sometime, but I'm not sure. I don't have that in front of me. I don't have my computer.
But I guess where did this movie end? What what is the where are we with the Avengers?
The Registration Act is still in place. They are, in a sense, criminals outside of the country, outside of the U.S. They're hiding out in Rwanda.
Okay.
Not Rwanda, in the make-believe city that is the Black Panther city.
And help me, Wanda.
Help me, Wanda. Yeah. So, what I look forward to the most out of this is the Black Panther solo movie, the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
That's going to come out of it. Thor's Ragnarok is coming out of it. Not from this movie, but that was another neat line. I love it when they reference things like that. Like, Can you even tell me where Thor and the Hulk are right now?
Yeah.
And then Tony Stark looks at, Black Widow and says, we could sure use the green guy. If he could show up. She's like, yeah, but which side would it be on?
Yeah.
So that was a good lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next movie is going to be interesting because there's going to be a big villain and they're going to have to come back together. Registration Act or not, it's probably going to get removed or see, I haven't finished the series, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But
so Don Cheadle's going to be able to walk again, Mr. War Machine.
Probably in the suit. He's probably going to need that suit to walk.
Have to wear the suit. All right. Well, good. Well, it was a fun movie. So
I can't wait for you to see it again. I want to hear your thoughts. See it again.
I'll probably see it again. Now, you and I are going to talk about Everest here pretty soon. But when are you going to Durham Warriors?
We leave, let's see, the 18th, 19th, 21st of June.
Oh, so we could get Everest in the next week or so, if you wanted.
If not next weekend, then yeah, sometime in the next week. Yeah, we got time. We got a couple weeks.
Yeah. So I'll watch it again. I really liked Everest.
Let me tell you something.
Maybe I didn't.
If I like a movie, I will investigate it. And the night after we watched Everest, I wasted some time at work investigating that movie.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
I got into it. No, I'm not telling. Well, nobody listens to this anyway. But I can't.
Actually, our movie talk episodes have very low numbers.
That's right. Just for our friends, our closest friends.
Yeah, it's just for our closest friends.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that. So before you listen to our Everest podcast, go out and get Everest. It's available on DVD. You can get it from the library. You can get it from Redbox. You can get it from wherever.
Yeah, Redbox cheapest.
So both of us are telling you to go watch Everest and then listen to our Everest podcast.
Yeah. All right. So Captain America Civil War surprised me. I really liked it. You knew it was going to be good, and you even gave it a jumbo popcorn. I gave it a medium to large popcorn, now that I remembered the whole Tony gets so mad at the end. And go see it if you haven't seen it. Of course, if you haven't seen it, why'd you listen to this whole thing? Right?
And if you have any recommendations for movies that you'd like us to see and talk about, let us know.
Yeah, we have a Movie Talk Facebook group. I believe it's facebook.com/groups/MTWDD, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe, yeah, I think so.
Or you can go to stwdd.com and then find it off that, too.
Yeah, you can do that. So, in fact, you could go mtwdd.com and it will take you to our D&D podcasting page, which has both Survivor Talk with D&D and all of our Movie Talk with D&D episodes on there. If you want to, I like that Black Panther. I don't know if we can see it. Put it like up underneath your chin. Because on the Skype, whenever we do the Skype, we're side by side and it takes like the middle of our screen. So, if you want to become a D&D patron, it helps pay for those little things.
Yes.
Yeah, it helps pay for those little things that David's playing with right now. No, but it does help pay for the bills every month, even during the summer when we're not doing as many Survivor Talk episodes. You can go to our website again and click on the Patreon link in the middle of the page. Also, shop Amazon. You can buy these little Funko things that David's playing with on Amazon. Use our link, stwdd.com/Amazon, or click the link in the middle of our page.
And if you really want to hear something funny, buy Dwaine a Funko, but tell him he can't open it until he gets on the air.
No.
And buy him War Machine.
Why?
Because you hate the character guy that's in the
I do hate War Machine. Do not buy me War Machine. Gosh. Our address is D&D Podcasting, P.O. Box, I think it's 588. Let me go to our website, because I never go there. So if you're going to mail me something, you better tell me. Just in case.
We've probably got stacks and stacks of mail.
No, we don't.
Donor checks sitting in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Apply this to the podcast.
Yes. Here's $1,000. Where is our address? I know we've got one on here. Oh wait, I think it's on
the bottom.
No, it's on one of our like podcast pages. Just a second. I'll go to our finale episode. Let's see. Our address is Where is it? I don't know our address. I think it's P.O. Box 588. I think, but I'd hate for you to mail me something and then it not go there. Oh well. What? Where's our address? That is weird.
They have totally lost interest in our address now.
Yes, they have. Anyway, Athens, Alabama 35612. So, all right. Thanks everybody for watching and/or listening. Share the podcast with your friends. Put it on Twitter. All that kind of stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.